And we are back. So I hope you enjoyed this
Yeah.
session, guys. I hope you got to meet some new people. I got to meet someone new, so I'm super excited about that. Now it's 7 and I'm going to give the announcement to Matej. Matej, what are we doing next?
Thank you, Meta. Thank you. Yeah, it's so wonderful to meet new people and see how everyone is feeling. But now it's time for the next part of our marathon. It's time to put our free thinking minds to work. It's workshop time. And the workshop today will be led by the amazing international guest, keynote speaker, trainer, and coach, Lerio Cunha. Lerio was born in Mozambique and has lived in Germany and Portugal. He has delivered keynote speeches and seminars throughout Africa, Europe, and USA. And he says that he loves people. Actually, his favorite 2 words are just ask, as he is a true believer in the power of asking. Thus, his new book, Just Ask, is coming out later in this year. Fellow Toastmasters, please engage in this workshop titled Boost Your Confidence. Lerio Cunha, boost your self-confidence. Lerio, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much for the warming, welcoming. Hello, Slovenia, and hello, the other 8 countries that are present today. For me, it's a wonderful experience to be here because I never been in Slovenia, and this feels like I'm visiting a new country for the first time. Hopefully someday, I don't know when, but I'm very hopeful when things become the new normal, I'll be able to actually visit and get to meet you in person or meet you even deeply in person. I've never been to Slovenia, but I do believe that even those who are not Christians, that you guys celebrate Christmas. For example, here in Mozambique, as we have many communities, religious communities, we don't call it, or officially it's not a Christmas day. It is called Family Day. But when we talk about the 25th of December, we all talk about Christmas, even if you're not religious. And I would like to hear from you, some of you, if you celebrate Christmas, whether you're religious or not, what is the main reason that you love Christmas or that you like Christmas? And it was not a rhetorical question, you may answer it.
I love my family's traditions of music and movies and snacks that are all based around Christmas. Okay, so snacks, music, and the whole tradition around Christmas. What else do we have? Grandma's pie. We have grandma's pie. What else?
Yeah, just gathering the whole bunch of our family, getting together, having fun, listening to music, eating a lot, and of course the gifts. I don't know, that comes along as well.
Okay, so last thing that you said was the gifts, the music, the eating. We have the grandma's pie, we have the music, the spirit, the nice decoration, and gifts. So I already got 3 gifts from 3 different persons, like people saying gifts. For me, and I have no problem in being honest, the main reason that I love Christmas, although many others, is because of gifts. The reason that I still make friends until today is because I expect them that by December, they'll be sending me gifts. Now, as I said that I felt privileged to be here today with you, Slovenia plus 8 other countries. And Gregor just told me that today here in this virtual room, we are more or less 33 people. It's still far, more than 6 months until December, but I feel privileged that today I just made more than 33 new friends. So by December this year, I'll be expecting 33 more gifts. I just need to tell you, I'll tell you in advance if I'll be spending Christmas here in Mozambique or in Lisbon. But that shouldn't be a problem. I'll send you both addresses and you can choose whether to send me the lovely gifts for me. But Christmas was not always like this with gifts. I remember being a child and asking my mom, "Mom, why didn't get a Christmas gift this year?" And she said, "Because you didn't ask for it. How could Santa Claus know?" 5. I was 5 years old, but I remember that conversation as if it was today. For many of us, to ask for something is really hard. But when we don't ask, we don't engage. When we don't ask, we don't connect. Today, you and I, what we'll tackle is how to ask, why to ask, when to ask, who to ask. Also, who can help us be better prepared so when the time comes, we're ready to ask. We're going to tackle all of that and we're going to try to have fun with it. All of us here have had significant experiences in our lives. Me, Matei, Katarina, Esther, all of us. The one experience I'll never forget was due to the act of asking. Let me tell you how it all started. When I was a child, my dear mother taught me, if you want something, you should ask for it. You should act on it. And I do martial arts since the year of 2000. And in one of the classes, my master said something that I'll never forget. Although I'm not religious, I urge you to read Matthew 7:7 and apply it in your daily lives. So I went home, I looked for it, and it said, ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the doors will be opened for you. And although I had the theory, I never put it into practice. Have you ever stopped to think, why is it so hard for us to ask? I want you to take a moment, not more than 15 seconds, not more than 30 seconds, and reflect, why is it so hard for you to ask? You might have one reason why you don't ask, or let us think 1 to 3 reasons. I want you to take a moment for that right now. Okay, now you'll be joining a breakout rooms from 5 to 6 people, and there you will share your 1 to 3 main reasons why you tend not to ask, the excuses that you give yourself, the reasons that stops you from asking. Once you share that with a group, you will find out if there was any common things between the things that you share. Maybe you'll find that one common for everyone, maybe it will be 2 or 3. And then when we come back to the main room, each group will be sharing their most commonality thing among each others. Is everything clear? If yes, raise your hand like this. You have 5 minutes for this activity, and then see you in 5 minutes here in the main room.
Zdravo.
Zdravo,
Hoj, se slišiš?
se slišimo?
Ja,
Ok, ker prej nisem nobenega slišal.
veš kaj je, ja, zgleda, da ni nobenega, ali pa so vsi noben aktiven tule. Zdaj,
Ok,
glej, te tule live room, pa te me za v drugo sobo. A se je Matej tu?
Ok. Zakaj se gre?
vprašanje je bilo, ali si na tej...
Ja, zakaj se ne upaš vprašati?
Ja, kaj, why is it so hard for you to ask something?
Yeah, because they will say no. You think that they will say no. Or they will think that it's a stupid question or that you are stupid or something like that.
Well, for me, it's more like I don't want to bother the other person.
Okay, also like this, yeah, of course. But,
Sometimes I even feel unworthy of asking somebody something, which is stupid, but that's how I still feel sometimes.
yeah, well, I think it's similar that, similar. It's connected to this that you will get.
No.
Any more
No.
breakout rooms?
Yes. At the end there'll be, but they can be the same.
The same. Okay, great.
Yeah, the same. Yeah.
One more question, if I may.
Yeah.
Should I leave you out of the rooms or?
Yes, out of the rooms. Yeah.
Okay, great. I will take you out.
Yeah. But it's totally fine if it doesn't, because I immediately clicked to get out, so it's
Okay.
Welcome back to the main room. Let us start with, and only one person from the group may speak and share what was the one commonality, maybe there was 2 or 3. So let's start with Slovenia. What was the common reason you guys have shared with each other?
Rejection.
Okay, so the fear of rejection. Let's go to Australia.
Australia. Do we have Australia in the room? Do we have Austria maybe?
Was it Austria?
I don't know.
No, the rooms had names.
We definitely have Germany.
The rooms
had names.
Oh, okay. The rooms. What was my room? Mozambique, I think.
Yes, Mozambique.
Yeah, so Australia.
Oh,
Darko, Carmen, Maria, Matej, Andrei.
yes, I thought so. I thought that we were Australia. I think the commonality was, I mean, this is very broad and very general, that all of the reasons are based in fear. And it was also pointed out that the rejection might play a big part.
Okay, so another fear of rejection. Let's go to Bosnia. What do you guys have to share with us?
In Bosnia and Herzegovina, I think people like to be independent and to solve their problems. And on the other side, we are very much sharing people and very emotional. So when we speak with our friends or close family members, we share everything. If they want to approach us and help us, then I think this is kind of way that we do. We just don't need to ask. Sometimes yes, but not all the time. So I think it's our approach. This is how we do things.
Okay, thank you. United Arab Emirates, what do we have?
Shame of asking help and ego prevent us to ask openly for help, and also we don't want that someone else is wasting time and energy on us to give us help. Yeah, that would be kind of so.
So shame, ego, like too proud to ask, and also avoiding that they'll be wasting time on helping us. Moz, and by Moz it's Mozambique. Moz people, what do you have for us?
In
Moz people?
Nemanja, please take the stage.
Why me? Can you please do it for me? My internet is, by the way, something spotty, so yeah.
Can you say it again, Nemanja?
My internet is a bit spotty, so can somebody else please take the stage?
Who's gonna do it? I'm already on stage so much.
Yeah, then you do it, Meda. You were taking notes.
Yeah, those notes were from me. Okay.
Let's go, Meda. Share with us.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I can share. What I want to share is actually what Nemanja brought to our attention at the final minute of our conversation, which is asking someone out on a date. And why we don't, or that is like the biggest fear, I guess, for a lot of people. But we sadly didn't finish the conversation. The fears that we mentioned were the fears of exposure, the fears of rejection, and yeah. So.
Okay, so exposure, rejection, and the common thing that you guys shared was actually asking someone out on a date. Germany, what do you have for us?
We summed it up as many other people said, a fear of rejection, but also of looking incompetent or weak.
So rejection, incompetent or weak. Turkey, what do you have for us?
Well, I can share. So the winner is the fear of rejection this time, and the second time, the second place is I can do anything by myself. So that's from Turkey.
Thank you for all the inclusive and active participation with this ask that I asked you to go to enroll in the breakout rooms. For me, as you heard in the description, I'm an advocate of the power of asking, but I also have my fears. I also have my excuses. The thought that I will be annoying the other person, the person that I'll be asking, that's what stops me from asking when I don't ask. It is to think that I will be annoying. But you see, when we don't ask, we end up losing so many opportunities in our lives. You have not because you ask not. You have not because you ask not. One of my biggest regrets that haunts me down till today, and I always think about it every time I go to bed, is not asking out my high school crush on a date. Her name, Alicia. And until today, I still wonder if I ask her out, maybe we'll still be love partners today. But that's not important. Now, there are two groups of people. The first one belongs to those who regret not asking out their high school crush on a date in the past. Raise your hand if you belong to the first group. Okay. The second group belongs to those who regret the same thing, not have asked out someone in the past, but they lie about it. Raise your hand if you belong to the second group. I see, okay, I see some hands, I see some hands. 2016, I was living in Germany and I decided to visit the city of Leipzig. I decided to go there because a lot of people are saying it's a very historic city. There's a nice monument there. So I decided, why not? So I went to Leipzig, and to get there, I took BlaBlaCar, an app, a service of carpool share rides. I think it's still common these days. I was in the co-pilot seat, and where we are in the co-pilot, we have to make conversation. And I love making conversation. I love meeting people. And I remember asking the pilot, it was a lady, I asked her to make small talk, but maybe it was not such a small talk. I thought it to be a nice conversation starter. And I said, what do you think about the Flüchtlinge crisis? Flüchtlinge stands for refugees. And she said, I'm so sick and tired of this conversation. And I was like, okay, we can talk about something else, no problem. And she said, no, Lerio, you don't understand. We can talk about it. It's just that at my work, all my colleagues talk about is about this topic. And it's not talking, it's just complaining. They complain because the refugees come to my country and they're gonna receive a house, they're gonna receive a pension, and I've been working all my life, contributing with taxes, and they just come here and have it all easy. And every time that they say this thing, my question to them is, so? And they just freeze because, you know, Lerio, no one can argue with so. And as she said that, I was just speechless, because for me in that moment, I had an eureka. And this lady had little to no idea of the tool that she has just given me. And I thought, what an effective tool to shut down, to silence all the little voices that we have, the excuses, the internal voices, the what if monkeys that stays in our head. And I was like, this is it. Such a simple tool, yet very effective. But how did I know that it was effective if I never tried it? Again, bunch of theory, no application whatsoever. A bunch of theory and no application whatsoever. There's a quote from Ken Petty that I really like. And it says like this: sometimes it's harder to ask for help than to act alone. Sometimes it's harder to ask for help than to act alone. For instance, all of us here, spread in 9 countries, we all have people that we look up to, people that we consider role models. But they too, at least once in their lives, asked for something, reached out to other people. So if they did it, why won't you? But when you do ask, remember to be specific. Specific on what exactly you're asking for and why. What and why. Many years ago, after leaving university classes in Lisbon, on my way to the train station, almost arriving there, I see an advertisement poster and I couldn't believe my eyes. Robin Sharma is coming to Lisbon? If you don't know Robin Sharma is an international leadership trainer and a book author. His most famous book is The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Robin Sharma not only is one of my biggest idols, but he also teaches the art of asking in his books. Seeing that poster made me think, I will go home and I'll buy the ticket no matter what. So I go home, I sit on my chair, open my laptop, type the event's name, click buy ticket. This was my face when I saw the price. 200 euros? No. 300 euros? 400 euros. The exact amount of my allowance at the time. If I had that money, I wouldn't think twice, not even once. I would immediately buy it. But I just couldn't afford it. I really want to see him. So I decide to write an email to the event organizing team saying that I'm willing to volunteer and help in the event. To what they answer: since we are a week from it, all the preparation is done. We already have your CV and we'll consider you for future events. But thank you for your courage. Thank you for your courage? Really? But after all the anger and disappointment, I realized that I was not specific. What I asked for is to help and volunteer for the event. But what I really wanted was to actually get a chance to meet my idol. Therefore, I did not get what I wanted. The hope of seeing Robin was just slowly fading away. I even thought of sending him a personal message. Well, when I say personal, is go to his website and write a message in the customer care or contacts. But right there, all the internal voices, the what if monkeys inside our head started to get louder and louder. Don't be a fool, Lerio. Who do you think you are to do that? Do you really think it's going to read your message? Forget about it. And that's when I remembered the trip to Leipzig. So, and I started to have a dialogue with myself. What if no one answers? So, he receives 1,000 messages every day, even millions. So, what if he thinks that you're greedy with this type of ask? So, if you really want this, maybe you should work hard for it. So, after many so's, I just stood there. No more voices, just silence. And just like in the movies and fairy tales, I heard my master and my mom's voice. Matthew 7:7. Just ask, Lerio. Just ask. So I did. I went to Rabin Sharma's website and I wrote a message in the customer care. Dear Robin, my name is Lerio. I'm one of your biggest fans. Can I get a free ticket to your event? And as I was almost clicking enter, wait a minute. Is this message specific enough? Is this message similar to the thousands and thousands of messages he receives every day? Hell yeah. So I stepped back, I reflected, I erased the first draft, and this is what I wrote. Dear Robin, my name is Lerio. I'm a Mozambican living in Lisbon, and I read all your books. I know you'll be holding a talk here in Lisbon, but due to financial reasons, I won't be able to see you. As I learned in your books, we shouldn't be afraid to ask for the things we want. So here I am asking you if there's a chance to see you. Regards, Lerio. I bet you want to know the answer to that email. But you know what? That doesn't matter. What really matters is to practice the act of asking. If you thought that to ask for something requires confidence and courage, and that courage and confidence, you are either born with it or not, you are right, but you're also wrong. You are right because it does take courage and confidence to ask, but you're wrong because courage and confidence, they're not personality traits. They're skills instead. A skill is learned, a skill is developed, and even mastered. Learn, develop, and master. Sometimes you will ask and it will not be given to you. Sometimes you will knock and the door won't open to you. But that does not define who you are. What defines who you are is how you react to it. If you feel rejected, you're right. If you feel that you'll continue knocking until the doors open for you, or that you will continue asking until it's given to you what you asked, you're also right. The question is, which one will you choose? It is up to you. Now, grab a piece of paper, a pen, lay down the piece of paper, and you're going to place your right hand on top of the piece of paper, and you're going to draw a hand shape with a pen. If you're very skillful and you have artistic skills, maybe you don't need to put a hand. I myself need to put it. Otherwise, it won't look like a hand. Even when I put a hand, sometimes it doesn't look like a human hand, we can say. So that is the first step. Step number 2. I assume that everyone has a hand, that you already draw it. Once you've done that, on top, let's say on the nail of your thumb in the paper, you're gonna put the letter L. On top of your index nail, you're gonna put the letter A. In the middle finger, you'll put a W. On the ring finger, you'll put a W. And in your little finger or the pinky finger, pinky swear finger, you will put another W. So it will be from thumb to little finger, L, A, W, W, W. If you have a photographic memory or a photographic here memory, the L stands for learning or learnings in plural. The index finger, the A, stands for ask. The middle finger stands for why. The ring finger stands for who. And the little finger, pinky swear finger, stands for when. So you will have 2 minutes right now to reflect and write on top of each finger the following. With this so far, if you learned anything, if you had a aha moment, something that you think you'll remember, even years from now, you may write there in the learnings. In the ask, you will write, what is the one finger that you, what is the one thing that you will ask when this session finishes? And it's not now, but the one thing that you'd like to ask, the thing that you'd like to have courage and confidence to ask. Think of one thing. If you could pick one thing, what that ask would be. Middle finger, why? Why are you asking that? What opportunities are you creating? What are the benefits of getting what you want to ask? The ring finger, who? And I saw someone ask, what was the ring finger? Who? And this who is not the person that you'll ask what you want to ask, but is who will help you be better prepared for that ask. So let's say that you want to ask your boss for a promotion. So here you have your boss, then you. But maybe you have a friend, a colleague, a family member that can help you be better prepared for the ask. Maybe someone that has gone through that position. Maybe someone that is good with communication or nonverbal will help you to practice your pitch and the ask. Or maybe if you're going to ask that person out on a date, who can help you to be better prepared for that time, for the ask. And last but not least, the little finger, when are you going to ask? Let's set up a date, not a deadline, but a date. Is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be after the session? Is it going to be in a month time? Is it going to be in 6 months? You know that. Be honest. To recap, let's go for, let me see, someone that I haven't, Robert Strinsky. Robert, do you want to recap? what will we do right now? Robert?
Yes.
Do you want to help to refresh what we will do right now, like the instructions I just gave? Let me see.
I didn't understand. What do you expect me to do?
It's just a recap of the instructions I gave.
Yes, I had to write down these 5 things. You want me to read them?
Not to read the thing, but as instructions. Someone wants to recap before we go to the next part and you have to reflect on it. Let's say Ster.
Or I could do it.
Sorry?
Somebody else, maybe?
Somebody else?
I can do it.
Yeah, go ahead. Can you recap what we're going to do right now?
Okay, so on the first finger in your drawing, you can write what you have learned from this talk so far. And the second one, you can write down your request, what you want to ask. On your third finger, why you want to ask it, why you want to get that thing, what difference would it make in your life? On your fourth finger, who will you ask to help you get ready to ask you to make this request? When will you ask? Set some kind of date and make some kind of resolution for when you will put this into practice.
Thank you very much, Esther. Thank you very much, Robert. Now we will have a 1 minute, and once you're done, you may do this one so I know if the group is ready. So 1 minute for the next exercise, starting now. Now, if you haven't had enough time to finish, no problem. you can finish in what will follow. Right now, we will go to, once again, the breakout rooms. And you also have 5 minutes, and we need to be practical, dynamic, so that everyone has the chance to share theirs. And in this 5 minutes, so let's say that each one of you, you'll have 1 minute to share. You're going to share your learning, choose one learning, what you're going to ask, why are you asking, also one, you may share only one reason, who will help you be better prepared, and when you're going to ask. See you in the next 5 minutes.
water, saving water, feeding water, changing water, healing water, saving water, feeding water, changing water, cleaning water.
Who would like to share one of the learnings that you had and you put it in the thumb finger?
I would like to.
Yes, Brigitta?
The best aha moment was that I will eliminate my monkey voices with asking them so and so and so. This was really very strong for me, and this is, I think, also my one of the key takeaways of this session.
Mm-hmm. So we have the so was aha moment for Brigitta. Anyone else had a different aha moment? Learning?
Well, hi guys. I would say what I really liked is that rejection doesn't define us if we get rejected.
That doesn't define who we are.
Yeah.
One last person to share their aha moments, the learnings of today.
I'll share. So mine was to be very specific in what you want, because if you're not specific in what you want, then you won't know who to ask.
So be specific. So we had three things: the so and what, to be specific, and rejection does not define who we are. A few days later, after sending a message to Robin Sharma, on my way, I was walking home with a friend, and at some point in time, I feel my pants vibrating. I received an email. I took my cell phone out, opened. And this is what the email said. Dear Lerio, my name is Jason. I am Robin Sharma's personal assistant. We carefully read your email, but unfortunately, the only thing that we can do is to ask for your full name and passport number, because we're more than happy to have you as our special guest. Dear audience from Slovenia and the 8 other countries, raise your index. Raise your index. That's your ask. That's your ask. I don't know for how long you've been wanting to ask that and what reasons made you not ask so far. But what I know and can really, really hope for is that now you are one step closer to do it. If you receive a no, remember, it's not a stop sign. It's a guideline. Thus, my dear friends, I dare you, just ask. And if it's not given to you at first, ask again. Ask as many times until the doors are open for you. I asked and I asked and I asked, and I got to attend Robin Sharma's talk. I took all my books with me to have his autograph, and in the end, I asked him for a hug. At that moment, I ran outside of the building, grabbed my phone, and I made a call. Mom, I know it's not Christmas yet, but I already asked Santa Claus for a present. And you know what? He has just given me exactly what I've asked. When we're ready to ask, we're ready to engage. We're ready to connect. Are you ready to engage? Are you ready to connect? Just ask. Grim.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lerio.
Thank you, Lerio, very much. Thank you for your wonderful workshop, for the opportunity for self-reflection, for engaging with others and ourselves, and the motivation to make the next step. I would like to invite you all for maybe another chat session and to give our amazing workshop speaker, trainer, feedback, positive feedback. I think we have a lot of things we can say about it. So
yes.
I invite you to write him a personal message in direct message. You can do that by pressing the 3 dots in his picture. So maybe we can give a minute for this.
Okay, so while everybody is giving feedback, perhaps we could give some feedback, Matej. What did you think? What struck you the most with Lario's workshop?
I think the topic is wonderful. It's yeah, it's a really important topic. That's what I got about it. It's
important for success.
Yeah, it's important for our impact. How about you, Meta?
Well, I had an epiphany. You know how if you put "so" with a question mark behind it, it kind of spells like SOS. Did you know that, Lerio?
Now I know, but I haven't thought of
you know, like so, and then another. You know, it's kind of like if you need help, you have to ask. So
need to reach out.
So I guess. How about we ask a question with the little chatty fingers? Are you ready for that, Matej? Do you want another chat game? Okay, so let me just quickly remind all of you guys how this chat game is working. So I'm gonna ask a question right now, and you all have to type in your answers, but don't hit send. And then when everybody's hands is in the air, we all press send together. And what I want to know is this workshop for sure was the most fun for me, and also the speakers were the most fun. And then we have so many things prepared for you that's going to be so much fun. But what I want to know is what part of Toastmasters in general is the most fun for you? So write your answers in the chat box. Start typing, guys.
And don't hit send yet, so we'll do it together.
Why are you a Toastmaster? What is the most fun? Why do you keep coming here? I mean, what's the deal? Dude, oh my God, I have a great, don't hit send, don't hit Maria. Hands up, hands in the air. Lerio, are you a Toastmaster? Okay, so everybody's hands is up, I think. Hands up. I think it's now time to press send. Oh my God, I have it. So what, yeah, I know, like in the old days, people were just coming for the drinks after. This is one of my favorites as well. The beer after the meetings. Table topics competition, very good. So there's a very useful presentations from our workshop masters. Self-improvement, of course. Table topics, drinks. Drinks, I like a drink. Getting to know people, meeting new people, having a speech, meeting great people, meeting great people, meeting great people. I'm repeating myself, but actually a lot of you guys have put this in the chat, and it's really exciting. I think it's why most of us are here, so it's great. Okay, so Matej, what do you think it's best if we take a little break right now?
Yes, I think so, Meta. We have a surprise actually after this break. So at in exactly 7 minutes, we'll be back. Matea, maybe you can put some music on in this little break.
Yeah.
And you're invited to come back promptly. So in at 8 and 10 minutes.
2010.